Wow, our topic today is a big one: how to turn a negative into a positive. Everything that we do on a daily basis, we can either perceive it as negative or we can perceive it as positive. I'm excited to share some new perspective on turning negatives into positives. When you identify something that you feel like is negative in your life, I'm going to challenge you to find the positive in it. I have a quick example. I worked with a client yesterday who shared an idea with me, a belief that she has about herself, that she doesn't engage. She said, I just don't engage. And we're going to pick apart that statement really quickly. First of all, I don't engage. What she meant by that was she doesn't go to parties, she doesn't go to social events, she mostly stays home and just goes to work and, just does what she has to do. And I asked her why, and that question why is super important. And she said, because when I go to those things, they just ask the same question. How are you doing? What do you do? What do you do for work? What are your hobbies? And they're all superficial. They're just all really basic, superficial questions that everybody asks, and she doesn't like that. And so as we talked, we found out that it's really important to her that people engage with her and that she engage with people on a deeper level. And going out in these social situations, it's kind of just the American way to just say, how you doing? I'm fine. Superficial is just the American way, right? So finding out why she doesn't engage was because she doesn't like superficial conversations. So the flip side of that is, I'm a very deep person. I want to engage on a deep level. So we were able to turn that negative statement, I don't engage, and not going out to parties, not engaging socially, and turning into a positive of, it's super important to me that I have deeply engaging conversations with people and get to know people on a deep level. So if you have something in your life that you find continually showing up, there's some sort of a pattern that is not working in your life, identify what it is. Put it in just a really short, concise statement, like she said, I don't engage. Put it in something really short and concise, and then ask the question, why? Why is this the case? Identify where that's coming from. And just like she said, I hate it when I go to these parties and people just ask these superficial conversations. We do superficial conversations. And then find the positive in that. What does that mean about you? If you hate superficial conversations, that means that you are a very deeply connective person. And how cool is that? And how crazy is that what she was creating was not engaging, not making deep conversation, not even meeting people at all. And these beliefs that we have about ourselves, the negative that we buy into, is so crazy because it's taking us the opposite direction of what our gift is, of what we actually want to create and we're super gifted at. All right, so I have 3 questions for you that's going to help you identify what your gifts are, especially if you have identified something that is not working for you. You can use that as a clue and flip it on its head and really see what that's really trying to tell you. The first question to identify what you're really gifted at is, what are you passionate about that is undervalued? And that might sound kind of crazy, but again, it's this negative positive thing. Whatever you're seeing as negative is actually positive. So what are you passionate about that is undervalued? And the reason why that question works is because usually when we're kids, we have no idea of, what social skills are, what boundaries are, what our inside and outside voice is, all those different things that we're just not sure about as a kid. And we get reprimanded for standing in our power, doing the things that we do best, showing up in our gifted self, because it's like too much for other people. So we get undervalued, or the perception of being undervalued, because of showing up passionately. So that's the first question is, what are you passionate about that is undervalued? The second question is kind of along the same lines as the first one, is what have you shut down because you have been shut down in the past? And again, showing up in your gifts can be perceived as negative because it's different, it's new, it's, unique to you. And the third question is, what pattern do you go to avoid showing up in your gifts? And if you've been shutting down, if you've been creating patterns, if you've been avoiding things that you're really gifted at, that means that you've bought into the idea that this is a negative, that whatever it is that you're really gifted at is a negative. This is an opportunity for you to take a look at it. And once you identify what those things are that you have shut down or that you're avoiding, that you're trying to hide, then you can ask the question, why? Why am I trying to hide that? Where's that coming from? And more than likely, you're going to come up with some kind of a memory, or there will be a situation that happened where you got reprimanded or you got judged for being something that was beyond normal or above normal or unique to you. And once you identify that, then you'll be able to flip that into a positive and say, wow, I'm actually super good at that. And I've kind of been shutting it down because I got reprimanded for it as a kid. But now I can see I've got those social skills. I know where my social boundaries are. I know how I can use that to my benefit and to other people's benefit as well. And I'm going to embrace that. And just like this woman did, instead of choosing to not engage because she's a deeply engaging person, you can make a choice to see that gift as a positive and now describe yourself as possessing that gift, that I do engage on a deep level. And now when I talk to people, that's my goal. That's my goal, is to deeply engage. So for my client, this is kind of what her life looked like. So for my client, she had these beliefs that were, I don't engage. Nobody is deep. I'm going to say nobody is as deep as me. I hate superficial. So she had all these beliefs that added up to I don't engage. Maybe I don't like parties. So all of these beliefs that she had created answered those questions. What are you passionate about that you feel is undervalued? What have you shut down because you've been shut down? What pattern do you go into to avoid your gift? She was avoiding her gift by not going to parties. She was shutting down her ability to engage with this belief that I don't engage. So these questions are going to help you to identify what is circling around your gift. And what we discovered for her is her actual gift is I do engage deeply. That was what her gift was. So when we focus on the negatives, when we put a lot of value into those negatives, there's no way that we can see the heart of it and the positive of it, that this is actually what your gift is. So use those questions to really identify what are those beliefs that you have about yourself, about not being, about things being negative, and then use those to identify what the positive is and what you're truly gifted at. So we're going to have more videos that are along this lines of turning negatives into positives and finding the positive in everything. So be sure to subscribe so that you can learn more.